Today on Hot Seat, we have with us Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister, Rohitha Bogollagama. Welcome to the program, Mr. Bogollagama. Firstly, I'd like to start off by asking you how Sri Lanka's foreign relations have changed since the end of the war.
One thing, in the first place, we didn't have a war in that sense of the word. We had a conflict. We had terrorism in Sri Lanka that covered the landscape as well as the people of our country for nearly 30 years. The government of President Mahinda Rajapaksa was able to counter terrorism in the most comprehensive manner. So that today, because today the people have become free after 30 years. And scourge of terrorism is not around or cloud in Sri Lanka. And to that extent, where the country has come together in terms of total inclusive process that has to be dealt in terms of the IDPs, then the resettlement process and the political empowerment.
Is there a drastic shift in Sri Lanka's relations with the West, in particular countries like the US and Britain, after the war or the conflict?
Yes. No, there's absolutely no so-called change of because with the West, I must state this, that the conflict was something the West supported in terms of a resolution. And LTT was an organization that was banned in the United States and proscribed as a terrorist organization. Equally, in the United Kingdom as a terrorist organization. In addition to that, the entire European Union proscribed the LTT and banned it as a terrorist organization. They supported us during our difficult times in seeing that the TROs operating in some other countries were also persecuted by the legal authorities. We also had the facilities in terms of countering money laundering with the support of the United States and several other countries. Canada was very helpful in terms of proscribing the LTT as a terrorist organization and addressing our requirements in prosecuting some of the LTT criminals that were present in the West. France was equally receptive, being part of the EU and also prosecuting some of the criminals of the LTT. About 14 of them first caught in France, and the trials are still on. So likewise, we had the cooperation of the West. And today we are looking at a wider engagement in terms of our own values being brought in to the settlement process, the political empowerment, and we hope West will equally support us at this stage.
Can you elaborate on the importance of being in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and what benefits there are of being a dialogue partner?
My responsibilities as Foreign Minister is to take Sri Lanka into the center stage or the center world stage. And in the region, we must be part of a very strong regional cooperation. That is Asia. Asia is responsible for 2/3 of the world's population. And again, it's the engine of growth in the world. And we have pitched, since I became Foreign Minister, to be a member of the ARF, ASEAN Regional Forum, where that's a security cooperation between Asia and the Pacific. And that's why the United States is also part of it. That's why Japan has come into it. So it's an Asia-Pacific relationship. China, Russia, and it's a very strong presence of 27 countries in the world. And we are today a part of it. First time I led the delegation was in 2007 to Manila to be part of this process. Then today we have become the chair virtually, or the ACD. Shortly we'll be taking over the chair of the Asian Cooperation Dialogue. And 30 countries of from the Far East to the West Asia that has come together, including Russia, China, and Japan, Australia, in terms of the ACD. And we'll be hosting the ACD summit in October this year, where 30 foreign ministers will be coming for the first time to Sri Lanka after the non-aligned summit. That was about 33 years ago. And that's another milestone that we have achieved during the last 2.5 years. Now we are part of the BIMSTEC, where the ASEAN and the SAARC regions have come together. Now what was left was the Shanghai Cooperation. And Shanghai Cooperation is important because two giants are represented in Shanghai Cooperation. That is China and Russia in the world, and are becoming a dialogue partner. I made the application last year. I canvassed for it with Russia and China and all the other countries, numbering 4 other countries. India is today an observer of the Shanghai Cooperation, equally Brazil, etc. Because everyone is trying to link into the Shanghai Cooperation. And Shanghai Cooperation is a regional grouping of countries devoted to political, economic, and social pursuits for the people. And that means that there's greater cooperation that could emerge in terms of the region being a free trade area in the future, bilateral relationships to grow with these giants who are very important for us, and that we termed as the inter-regional cooperation. So that this region, if you are not part of it, one will wonder, why couldn't we become a part of it? So today, Sri Lanka, I have taken Sri Lanka from ARF to ACD, now to the Shanghai Cooperation. That's something I value a lot in serving as Foreign Minister and being able to pitch Sri Lanka into this stage.